All right, guys, I am fired up to be here today with my buddy Sean Daniels. I'm starting a new series that you're going to see on the Brad Niccum Mortgage Banker website or YouTube channel, where I get to highlight some of the great realtors that I work with in multiple different areas. And I wanted to kind of start the first one off with my buddy Sean Daniels, and I really appreciate you doing this and being here with me today.
I'm blessed to be here and happy you think of me like that. Thank you so much, Brad.
You're killing it, man, and it's a pleasure working with you. So I really want to get your name out there to people so they know a little bit more about you. So tell everybody a little bit about your history and what you did before the real estate world.
So getting into real estate, I was in the automotive industry for 20 years, and those were a great 20 years of my life. And as I'd say probably 16 years into that, I got a little burnout. I was at the point in my life, there has to be more than what I'm doing right now. And it kind of plateaued. So my wife became a nurse before we even thought about real estate. And beautiful woman, Starry Daniels.
Yeah.
She's an RN at the VA, God bless her. And that gave us a base, because I was commission based where I was at and always done well and just never without and just wanted more. So I got my license. I did take the test 10 times. I'm not afraid to say that.
That's awesome.
I'm not. I passed the state on the second, and took me another 8 times and one man cry on the sixth attempt to get it done. But I procrastinated for 12 months to do the 90-hour test. I don't suggest doing that. But anyways, fast forwarding, get my license, still working a full-time job, sell like 9 houses in the first, I think 4 months. Really wasn't advertising a whole lot at that time. Wasn't pushing because I was still working full time, my other job, being respectful. And then from there, I did like 17 houses, still working full time, then 44, then like 81. And that really changed our whole life because we weren't buying shiny things. We were really bringing in way more money than we were used to bringing in. And we just kept living our life the way we're living it. And our goal was to keep paying things down. And that's really a good thing to do in our business, because our business is very much like this, right? Depending on how much you put into it. But after we paid everything off, our house was the last thing. We paid my wife's college tuition off and 1 car. Finally, I just said, hey, I'm going to quit my other job. And I thought I'd be less busy, right? I thought, like, all right, now I'm not working 2 jobs, because I was really working 2 full-time jobs, right? It's a lot of houses. I did way more volume than I did the year before. And it just kept going up and up and up. And then eventually I was like, you really don't see the point in working with another brokerage anymore. I should start my own. And that's where Daniels Real Estate, Dre, came into effect. And it's not easy going out on your own. Brad, you know this. I'm sure you started lending with somebody else.
Well, actually, I started it as a job and bought into that company, ended up owning part of that company. So technically, I've only worked for myself in the mortgage world for 28 years. So,
Damn, that's a lifetime.
Never got to work with another company, and I really don't want to. I'm completely and totally unemployable. So.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people who are like us are, because it's hard. I've worked with people in the industry before I started on my own, and the one thing that resonates to me is, how are you doing what you're doing? It wasn't, and it wasn't how you're doing it. It's like, it was, I don't know how you're doing what you're doing. They never asked me how I was doing what I was doing. Like, how are you?
Yeah, so I don't even know how you do that all day.
Yeah. Like, could you explain like your day to day, like, what are you doing to be so successful in this industry? And the killer thing too was, when I got rolling and I was doing really well and I'd post about my success, I was told at one point, like, you really shouldn't post about that. You shouldn't post what you're doing, because other people in our industry might see it a certain way. And I just never understood that concept. It wasn't like I was bragging. It was people that are consumers have no idea how good we are or what we're doing if we don't put it out there.
100%.
There's nowhere they can't go on my board and say, oh, this guy sold this much and da da da. We have to show them our resume, and we can't be secret agents while we're doing it. Fast forward further, we have over 25 agents now plus, and we don't recruit from other brokerages. We basically it's off culture. It's off the agent that work with our brokerage that feel like if they work with somebody else, they're going to fit with us and they're going to be our type of, family.
Your people.
Yeah. We have a big group text. It's like no other. We actually had to switch over to WhatsApp here recently because
too many people.
We have too many people. Actually, we don't have too many people, but
Yeah.
but I never want to eat to get fat. And I say that heavily because when you eat to get fat, you got all these people that keep coming on fast, right? If I wanted to recruit, I promise you I could recruit just as well as I help my clients, and I could bring many people on. But how can I manage those people? How can I help them and say I'm actually doing them a justice, just like
Right.
our clients? So my motto is just, if you build it, they will come, right? If you be the person you're supposed to be and emulate that, and that's the feedback I get from our agents now.
Feel like your sweet spot is? What's the thing that you like to do the most in real estate and feel like that's when you're like giddy and excited about working? What's your thing?
I love it when I get to meet new people.
Mm.
I do. I love it when I get to meet new people, or when somebody messages me or runs into me inadvertently and says, "Wow, I love that last video you did," or such and such referred you to me, which might not have talked to such and such for a year or two.
Right. Those are always awesome.
Yeah, like they may not like all your stuff or comment, but they're following you and they're
Mm-hmm.
watching and they're clapping for you, even though you don't know they're clapping for you. Those interactions are my favorite. Yeah. Because it means you're doing the damn thing. You're doing it right. You're
Yeah.
putting the work in. You're showing up. Because every day you wake up, and somebody said this yesterday to me, every day you wake up, it's, what am I going to do today to earn my paycheck? Because Brad and I work in a world where like nobody's forcing us to punch in.
No.
Nobody's paying us a salary.
Nope.
It's based off our clients, and those clients are sometimes complete strangers that
Yeah.
that are out there, and they may not have bought a house from you, but they started following you somehow, and now they're referring people because they like how you do your business. So
Would you say the bulk of your business and what you've created has come from what you do on social media?
absolutely, not just social media, it's the relationships. I'd say social media is what helps you not stay a secret agent, because
Yeah.
people forget you do real estate, and if you're not posting stuff out there and putting good content, and not just good content, but being intentful about it and passionate, you're going to be forgot about, no matter how nice of a person you are, no matter how
Mhm.
good you are. And it happens easily over the years. So you got to show up and get up every day and do it. And just like Brad here, this guy, he's freaking amazing. You want to be around people who inspire you. Brad inspires me. He didn't pay me to say that, but the guy's got so many different things going on, and I'm like, man, what do I got to do now? I got to do something. Brad's doing all that. I got to do something else.
And most of the stuff I do is for fun. The rest is, I love the mortgage business, so I work hard there. But
Yeah,
all
but
this
if
other stuff's
if
fun.
it's fun, you
not
never
really
work a day
work.
in your life,
That's
right?
right.
If it's
That's
fun, you never
so
work a
true.
day in your life. So that's, to me, it's in 20 years of a past career, I never thought I could reinvent myself.
Right?
And if anything, to anybody out there that's in that rut, you can reinvent yourself. You
Absolutely.
can become somebody else. And when I got in the business, I never thought financially we'd be where we're at. And my goal was never to be where we're at like that. Like, it just happened. I even told my wife, like, look, I got to leave this career. It's eating me alive. Like, it's not the job. I outgrow the job. The job's the same, but I got to do something different. And I might make half what I was making before. And she said, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You
If
know,
you're
like,
happy.
that's it. And having that person to back you up in your corner, that's in your house every day, that's huge. And
100%.
unfortunately, everybody doesn't have that.
No, I am extremely fortunate with a
You are.
incredible wife.
She's amazing.
So did you ever, before you got into real estate, when you were working in the auto industry, did you ever see yourself working in real estate? Like, was it ever even a thought that I'm going to be a realtor or be in real estate?
It was not. I had people over the years say you should be a real estate agent, be great at it, and it wasn't until a friend of ours, Cassie, I was watching her success, and she was doing extremely well in the business. Start talking to her a little bit, picking her brain, and then I start talking to other people I met in the business. Between that time, I started a mowing business and a t-shirt business. And
But didn't you love the mowing business?
No, it was great. You know, you think you never have a bad day of mowing in your life till you get a flat tire in your mower. It is a good job though. It's something that somebody could definitely pick up and do and make great money at it. But you're fighting the weather, and it just wasn't for me, being a pasty white dude. And
Like sunburn,
skin cancer
with a bunch of allergies.
Yeah, I do have allergies.
I do too. Yeah,
I got allergy. I've been fighting them all week.
I used to love to mow my yard. To be honest with you,
I did too.
Mowing my yard was like the best thing until I hired somebody to mow my yard.
Oh my gosh. My buddy Mike Clark, good friend of mine, actually was one of my biggest transactions when I first got into business. I sold their land for like $360,000. I was like, wow. Like, it was all this acreage down towards Brown County. Him and his wife, or him and his mom, Madeline, God love her, have been mowing grass forever. And back to your point, I had them start mowing my yard at one point. And they also had, I sold a bunch of their houses too. I'm like, I almost have them start mowing my yard.
Yeah.
And I love mowing my yard,
Yeah.
edging, all this stuff. So I was like, man, I told Mike, I was like, man, I really like
hard.
my yard.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard
and
to
when
give
you're
up.
putting a big equipment on it, it's tough. And eventually I was just like, all right, whatever, just make it look good. And to this day, 5 years later, they still mow my yard, right? Like in that extra hour or 2 hours I have with the family at home and everything I got to do, it's well worth it.
I use it for like, Tony's like, well, did you have a good day today? I was like, yeah, man, I got the garage picked up. I got 3 loans done. I got the yard mowed. I throw in there that I actually got the yard mowed every time. I'm like, I got the yard mowed. Everything went great.
I missed that.
Yeah, he's putting it right in the thing. Oh, I got all the things you wanted me to do, and I got the yard mowed. He's like, yeah, Travis came and mowed it. It was fantastic. So here's a question. What do you think the best thing about being a realtor is?
To me, it's making that dream come true of home ownership. It really is. There's nothing better than that. There's times I'll be going to a closing and I'll tear up going to the closing because you have that relationship you've built with your client, that camaraderie of finding the house. You know, everything comes up to the pre-approval and then looking and getting the house and going through all the contractual obligations. And then you close with them. And I don't know about you, but like, just like some of our closest friends that don't live nearby, you don't see your closest friends a lot, right?
100%.
We grow older and we're more hermits and so forth. And I know that relationship can still be tended to like throughout social media, and I get to kind of follow them and still be a part of their life. But, you know, no cable guy stuff, but it is bittersweet at the end when you've had that's why you'll see me very passionate because it's a big deal when we close. And I'll never forget, a long time ago, a title company, a long time ago, I got into business. They said, your closings are different than most.
Yeah, you make it fun.
But this is where I realized I was a different person. I was a different agent. I wouldn't say I'm just better than anybody. It was fun. And that's where like we were doing pictures and we were doing all this. And that's where somebody told me like, you probably shouldn't post that stuff. I'm like, why shouldn't I post that stuff? Like this is exciting.
And he does get permission for anybody that's getting posted on Facebook or in social media.
If you're private, I'm not going to post it.
Right. Yeah.
And it happens occasionally. It's okay. But I want to make it a great experience. You just went through one of the most
stressful times.
One of the most stressful things you're going to do in your whole life.
Right.
And we're now closing and you're signing all this paperwork, just boring as all get out. Right.
Yeah.
And it's got to be fun at that point. And when they said that to me, I didn't realize what they said. And then as I learned more about other closings and other people and how things work, I'm like, that was a compliment.
Yeah, 100%. So I sum all of that up for the same reason I'm in the business. There's a fulfillment from what we do. It's so much different than guiding a family through the process. And I love my second-time home buyers.
They trusted you.
My first-time home buyers are the best.
Yeah.
Like when you get to help them sign off on that new chapter of their life.
But when you get a call from a second-time home buyer bought a house with you 10
awesome
years
too.
later, 5 years later, 20 years later, which I haven't been in business that long, right? But I'm getting those calls and I just get butterflies. I get butterflies because I don't hound people. I probably should be better at that. Not really hounding them, but we
all should be better at follow
up, right? Like, how you been doing? Here's a Christmas card.
Right.
But that's where Facebook really helps because I'm still following them and I still enjoy seeing their family and their life and this house that I can see in the background. That I remember the first day we walked through it and
the kids are picking out their rooms.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a client call me recently that and it was about 5 years ago when they bought their house, but the first house we put an offer on had bad termite damage, wood string insects. And we got out of it. And I got them this other house and boom, 5 years later, they're messaging me. Right.
Yep.
And I got them with you and wow, like that's somebody I really hadn't, they were really not on Facebook a bunch but they remembered us.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. How many years total have you been doing this now?
We're going on 7 right now.
7 years. Yeah. And then how many years before you started Dre?
3.
Okay, so you had a good solid 3 years learning the business and then went, okay, now I'm on my own.
Yeah, the first year I had Dre, I didn't bring any agents on but one, a good friend of mine, Matt. Him and his wife are amazing. And I just didn't want to bring a bunch of people on because I wanted to get I wanted to be intentful. I wanted to make sure I'm doing my agents right. I just want to bring people on. And then that second year is when I started getting more traction and more people start coming on. And I didn't call a bunch of I didn't call a bunch of people and like say, hey, shiny things, come over here. It just happens.
Right.
One person came over. I made a video about here, like we're not on an island. Nobody's on an island here at Daniel's Real Estate. And at that time, she was watching one of my TikToks and saw that. And she had an issue going on with a house and she had messaged her managing broker, which 2 years in had still yet to ever meet. And that took them 24 to 48 hours to get back to her. And then that managing broker said, "Oh, my wife handles that." So then she had to talk to the wife. And then she's like, why am I even here? I'm a relationship based person. I'm not going to down people that are transactional because it
Sure.
might work for them and they're going to attract those type of agents. So that's totally fine. But to me, it's like, man, if your agent needs help, that means your client needs help. Those clients that we were just talking about that we love, and now they have to wait. And in our game, it's 30 days to close. So time is of the essence. You don't have a whole lot of time to wait.
Right.
So you got to have those answers.
But I'm going to turn my statement or my question into a statement.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Daniel's Realty special. Because my question was going to be, what makes Daniel's Real Estate special? And I already knew that answer. Like I know your agents. I know how much support you give everybody, and I know how much knowledge you bring to the table to help them through the process. And you don't hound them with crazy amounts of meetings and that they have to be at all these things, yet you put together these awesome, I believe, quarterly sales meetings where they get to learn some information. And I'm really excited about the next one because Zubulation's going on, the Pacer game's going on. There's that concert going on.
Going afterwards.
I'm going home. That's
where we go. No, you're not.
I'm going straight home.
I'm coming here. I mean, I didn't realize when I booked those out at the beginning of the year.
Right. That's
a hard thing too when you're a busy agent and an owner broker, right? Because obviously I'm still selling real estate. So at the beginning of the year, I was like, if I don't plan all these meetings at the beginning of the year, it's not going to happen. I bought the big ass calendar and I planned everything out. And we had no idea the Pacers were going to be kicking ass, right? Go Pacers.
You probably didn't know what Zubulation was.
I knew what Zubulation.
Okay,
I've always wanted to go to that.
Have you?
I've never been. But
you didn't know Russell Dickerson was going to be in town.
No, but we're so far off from where all that stuff's at. We're in the One American building, second largest building in Indianapolis.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're going to be right in the middle of all the traffic.
They got their own parking.
It's going to be fantastic. No, I'm excited about it. But when I found out that there was a baseball game, a concert,
the Indians game going on too.
Pacer game, they're like, is anybody going to, we should have this in Carmel. No one's going to be in Carmel this weekend.
Not going to lie. It's not easy being me. It's not. I got 18 of our, almost 30 agents showing up. So that's really good.
It'll be awesome. It'll be a good time.
Yep.
So this question, I want to go real estate only, not broker owner, but on the real estate side. What's the thing that's most surprised you about real estate since you've been in it?
I would say sometimes the lack of communication. Communication is to me the most important part of any deal. And if you have an agent on the other side that doesn't communicate very well and it takes a long time for them to get back to you, again, 30 days, right? 30 days to close. That can be really stressful, or just one that just doesn't have that help on their end to write a good offer.
Right.
Recently, here's a surprise here recently. How about that?
Perfect.
I had an offer come through that the agent marked normal inspection and put 0 days. 0 days. And my fiducial duty, right, is to who?
Your seller.
My seller.
Yeah.
So I talked to my seller and said, hey, this is probably going to be an issue, but it's up to you if I need to bring this up to the agent or not. It's a legal binding contract. And really, they'd have no way to get out of it unless there's a low appraisal at this point.
Right.
It's also like,
because now their inspection's not in play.
Yeah, because it's 0 days.
Right.
And that and other things on the contract was not filled out properly.
As a loan officer, I get things and I'm like, hey, did you guys see this? And every once in a while, both agents are like, nope. And I'm like, well, I'm going to move on like that's not there, and you guys need to work that out.
Yeah.
Because I see those things too. Okay, so this question's kind of the same question, but what's the thing that you've learned the most about being a broker owner that you're shocked about?
How much time it takes on the behind the scenes when it comes to the admin stuff. Like the people to people, like I'm good at like my agents calling me and getting back with them in less than a couple hours. It's the admin. It's especially since we grew so quick.
So what do you think the most concerning thing about the real estate business today is? What's the thing that, I know you're like me, you don't worry about a whole lot, but what's something that's kind of haunting you in the real estate world today?
Like you said, we don't worry about a lot, but it's just, you got to learn how to pivot. So haunting me, there's not much that haunts me. I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, as of now, what I'm seeing last 5 days, 800 some houses hit the market. 700 some houses lowered their prices.
So are you saying we're almost like 2018, 2019?
Oh yeah, totally. With the interest rates where they're at.
Yep.
High insurance, high taxes. It's very limited what people can do. I would never talk somebody into selling their house at a 3% unless like they had to sell the house. But it's still cheaper to own than rent. If you are renting, obviously rent's going up because
Everything else is,
everything else is going up,
yeah.
right? If taxes go up and insurance go up, guess what? Your person that's renting the house, your landlord,
It's going to raise your rent.
you're going to pay for that because they have to pay for that. So at that point, it's like, okay, do I keep pissing away money at paying for him to gain more equity, or let's go buy something?
Right.
Because you're already paying that anyways.
Affordability is really becoming hard for people.
Yes.
And there was a news story today that insurance rates are going to go up another 20 to 30% over the next 12 to 24 months. So taxes are definitely going to go up. So I know that's difficult for people. That's probably the most concerning thing for me, as many years as I've been in the business. I just see it harder and harder for the first-time home buyer. But when you think about the cost of homes where we live, and you compare that to your Californias and New Yorks, they still sell homes and they figured out how to do it with a real affordability problem. So maybe we'll see more generational buyers, multiple buyers on a single home, things like that. But yeah, that's probably the most concerning.
What I thought was interesting, obviously I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, is my Rushville house I listed. Beautiful Victorian.
Beautiful house. That's the one that was not haunted,
not
right?
haunted. A beautiful Victorian style house. And how many people coming from Ohio and relocating. And I also told my client this, like, we're going to get somebody relocating to buy your house. That's who's going to buy your house. And it was amazing, the people who were coming to Rushville, which is 45 minutes from downtown Indianapolis, beautiful town, that wanted to live there. There is like a dog food company in that area for like their biggest
manufacturer.
Employer. But yeah, I think people are starting to move out and they're okay driving places. And I think a lot of these towns too are starting to develop more of the walkability.
Yeah.
Which I love. The walkability will drive more people to those towns and will bring more companies in that want to open up their franchises when it comes to places to eat and et cetera for your creature features.
Here's a question. Where do you see Daniels Real Estate and Sean Daniels 10 years from today? Are you a goal setter? Will you look out that far?
I live every day like it's my last day, man.
I understand. Like, I do that too.
I didn't think I'd be where I'm at now in 3 years. I mean, 10 years, I don't know. I mean, I dream of having maybe a place in Florida when it comes to a brokerage.
Okay.
But that's, to me right now, I'm very small thinking to where I just want to hone in on a couple different locations and really like grow those locations. And like when people think about real estate, they think about Daniels Real Estate. They think about Dre. When they wake up and they're like, I want to sell my house. Like, I want to sell with this company. That's my goal. And 10 years from now, that's still going to be my goal.
I want you to get big enough that Dr. Dre sues you for using the Dre. That'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, technically it's Daniels Real Estate.
Yeah, they'd never know.
I feel like I might hit a milestone if that happens.
If that happens, you'd be like, what?
I mean, like, how do I fix that? It's my name. Would I gotta put a dot in between? I don't know. I'm fine. But whatever he wants to do, I'm down.
Yeah,
because he calls. Music growing up, like, let's go, man. I'm not gonna be mad at him.
That's fantastic. Another question, because I do this a little bit, you do this a lot. How much freaking time do you truly spend on social media?
Too much. It's too much. It's one of those things. It is an endorphin when you're on social media. Like it's something where like, all right, man, I did this and I got 24,000. The Not Haunted thing on TikTok, 24,000 views. And when I did that, like the house started getting all these lists, like these appointments.
Right.
I don't know if it's from that or not. It's hard to gauge it, but it's wow. So it is an addiction when it comes to that. And the fact that I've seen the proofs in the pudding, like I've got recognition from it. I've had clients say, I've had my cousin, Michael, Major Tool and Design. He's the president there. He's an amazing guy. And he doesn't really like do a lot of social media. He doesn't like my stuff or anything. But when we're together, he's like, yeah, you're all over my social media. When I hear that, especially from a complete stranger I don't know, it is addicting. So it's just part of my business. I don't even look at it like it's just part of my business. It's not something that I feel like is a hindering.
So how much are you in love with editing?
I can edit pretty quick. I can walk into a house, do a video, edit it, and have it live in like 20 minutes or less.
Okay.
I just did a video yesterday. I didn't edit any of it. I did a video. My clients were going to show up, cute house. Asked the agent, you cool if I go ahead and do a video of this house? Yeah. Absolutely. And I posted it, and I really didn't edit. I edited like one little section out of it. I couldn't
Gotcha.
get the damn back door unlocked. That was it.
So mostly you're doing mostly short form type
Oh,
reels and stories and those
yes.
things. So a little shorter time frame.
What's getting me more views
What's
is
that?
my pictures right now,
Okay.
according to Facebook. My pictures get more, and that may be because all I was doing is reels for a long time.
Right.
And Gary Vee, he
Mhm.
said a while back, he goes, "Why aren't you guys doing more reels? Why aren't you guys doing more reels?" And I wasn't doing any reels. I was doing like these long videos.
Right.
So I started doing more reels, and I started getting more content, more people looking, more views. And then same thing with YouTube. My YouTube, I get more action on the short,
Mm-hmm.
the short.
Shorts. Yeah. Shorts always get
Um,
more.
so it's learning, and that's where like you want to find a good mentor, whether you like me or don't like me. Like find a person you like that's doing the damn thing, and more than likely, if they're cool, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, come aboard. I'm gonna show you everything." Like I tell every one of my agents, I got 5 seats in my truck. If you show up at my house or call me ahead of time, like I say ahead of time, like today, right at 7 a.m. Hey, what are you doing today? Hey, what are you doing today? I've yet to have the agent that's done that. I've yet to
Hmm.
have the agent that's like, because I mean, I know how much work I put in.
Yeah.
My brain wakes up at like 5, 6 o'clock, just from that 20-year job.
What
I
time
was
do you go to bed at night?
occasionally, a lot of times it's midnight. Sometimes, depending on how much work I got going on.
What's your average time to go to bed?
10.
What time do you eat dinner?
Mm. Depending on if I got work going on that evening, maybe never. But I say average 7,
How old are you?
46.
The difference in 10 years?
How pause. All right, go.
Dinner 4:30. I'm hungry at 4. But in my defense on that, I don't eat anything all day. I don't eat breakfast. I drink a couple Red Bulls.
I love
So
coffee.
I'm dinner at 4:30.
I love coffee. Sometimes I will make sure I eat breakfast in the morning, depending on how my day's going to go, because I know I probably will not eat
Until late.
until late.
Yeah.
And I keep like the
Little
starfish.
food bars.
I keep food in my truck, or I'll stop at a gas station.
We'll wrap it up here. I got a question for you. So give everybody a day in the life of Sean Daniels. Let's make it a Thursday. So just a normal Thursday. Talk about from what you do from when you wake up to when you go to bed. What's that normal activity look like? So if somebody was a realtor and they wanted to gauge what they wanted to do what you're doing is one thing, but also if somebody's thinking about listing their home, what's this guy do in just a normal day that's going to help sell my house? And if I'm a buyer, what's this guy do in a normal day that I want to choose him to be my real estate agent?
So it varies depending on where you're at in real estate. At my point right now, it's emails first thing in the morning, going through my emails. For instance, yesterday, knocked out my emails, cruised out to McCordsville, sat there, went through an inspection for one of my clients, military client, moving here from out of town. Got done with that, went and put a sign up at my my $1.2 million house on 56th Street.
And what's that like when you put a sign up?
I love it.
That's like a stand of some kind.
You make it fun. You make
lighting, a video camera.
Yeah, there's no lighting. It's so like I just tilt my camera up and I run with it.
Do you use camera or phone?
My phone.
Okay.
Use my phone. So I knocked that out. And then I had to be in Columbus because I got a listing in Columbus. I had to run out there, put my sign up there where you saw me push-ups.
I did, yeah. Push-ups.
Sign up there. And then had 2 offers on my house that was in Canby that all this time while I'm driving, I'm like talking to the agent, talking to my client because there's going to be a me on my side, trying to work the best deal, whether it's my side or the other side, right? Work with that, talking to their lender amongst other conversations during this time in that one day. Get home, work on that offer. I forgot before I went to McCordsville, I met that person that wanted to buy the house I'd listed and went over the contracts with them in person so I could read it word for word. It's so hard. Like I do so much that I forget what I do sometimes. But my calendar, like you don't put on a calendar, it's not going to happen, right? You'll forget about it. And then get home. I do some more content, posts. What else did I do that day? I think I had something else. I can't remember.
Did you eat?
I did eat.
Okay.
I had a salad at McAllister's when I went over the contract with the gentleman.
Okay.
I made it home at one point to upload those contracts. So I sent it to my client, and I did an air fryer piece of chicken.
There you go.
An air fryer piece of chicken with some leftover Gouda cheese from the night before, because the wife and I went to our table. Tiffany's awesome there. And yeah, man, I and it gets to the point too, you get to the end of the night where you're like, all right, I'm done. To where you don't want to go to bed yet. You're like, I gotta like have some me time. And I watched try some B movie that I've watched 20 times.
Yeah.
It had some bourbon and then finally went to bed.
That's what I was going to ask you. So bourbon, beer, or tequila?
Bourbon.
You're
turning me on to tequila.
I'm working on it.
It's amazing.
Eat out or eat at home?
I'd much rather eat at home because my wife is an amazing cook, but I know she doesn't always want to cook, right? So I love going to Geraldine's or Our Table. Tony's is one of our mutual favorites. It's good to get out and just be with each other and turn your phone off for a couple hours.
Rock and roll or country music?
Country.
Car or truck?
Truck.
Tennis shoes or boots?
Boots.
Favorite reality television show?
Oh man, I'd say the one I was on for MTV is called "Don't Be a Spring or What It's Like to Be a Spring Breaker."
You were on that?
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Favorite non reality television show?
I just say Aliens. I love Aliens.
Okay. And is there any current popular show that you can't wait to watch?
I want to see. It's coming to Hulu. It's Alien Planet.
Okay.
I'm a big sci-fi guy.
Sci-fi guy.
I love Aliens. Love Predator. I love those movies. The Gorge was a really good movie. It just came out. Netflix movie. I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times.
Best book you've read this year?
I say Remington Ramsey's book.
Yeah, Agent Allies.
Agent Allies.
Yeah,
that's a plug, Remy. That wasn't planned. This was not planned.
No, that was plugged, Remy. And who would you like to say thank you to that helps you do what you do every single day?
My wife. Starry Daniels. I mean, my wife. I also want Brian Quinlan. You know, as I've grown so quickly, Brian has been someone I never thought I'd meet in my life, to where like I could lean on him. I call him, I told him this recently, he's kind of like my second hand at this point. And me and him are yin and yang when it comes to our personalities, when it comes to details. And the guy's amazing.
So you're telling me that he's more detailed than you?
Way more detailed.
Yeah, I already knew that.
I know my strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, we visited him a couple of days ago at their house and had some drinks on their back porch, and I had a good conversation with him yesterday on the phone. And yeah, he's huge.
Very solid guy. I actually love that dude. We have so much fun with our podcast, Real Estate Makes Us Drink. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Stephanie's awesome too.
Where can everybody find you? Let's go through all those social media. So people need to find you today and subscribe and like and follow and share all of those things. What are those places?
Know all those, shouldn't I?
You should, yeah.
DanielsRealEstate.com is the number one, right?
Yep.
DanielsRealEstate.com, 317-371-0060. I've had that phone number since Bell South was in business, and I push grocery carts at Myers.
I'll put it up here. It'll be literally right here.
You can find me at Sean Daniels. It's just Sean Daniels on Facebook. Obviously, we're older. I did hear the younger crowd is going more towards Facebook now. My clients told me this.
No kidding.
They did. They're in their 20s. They said, we're starting to like Facebook more.
I love it.
Because
I love Facebook.
Instagram is just not as personable. And
it is.
Instagram, I think, is just Sean.Daniels.Realtor, Indie Realtor.
I'll put it up here.
Yeah, I don't know. Look it up.
You have a YouTube too, right?
My YouTube.
We'll put it right here.
I don't know.
And you're a ticker talker, right?
I don't know what ticker talker.
Okay, we'll put the ticker talker right there.
I'll let Brad do that.
We'll have them all on the screen.
TikToker, though. It's a lot.
That's my least favorite.
Yeah.
TikTok's my least favorite one.
Man,
can't get it to grow.
I want to give kudos to the couple that emailed me from that platform and said, hey, we're in our fees. We're retired. We're military. We saw your post from Aberdeen.
Yeah.
This was like 3 years ago.
No kidding.
And this was like right before some young dude said, you're too old to be on here. Yeah, I'm not too old.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok, but I feel like I'm too old for TikTok.
You're not.
It's growing.
All those platforms, it's kind of like, depending on what you're using it for. And a young guy told me this a while back, Vincent Wilson, it's my wife's cousin's son. He said, you're just one post away from the lottery.
Yep. No, it's so true.
How crazy is that?
It's so true.
The kid's amazing. Vincent's amazing. And I was like, man, that's true. And to me, like, I just put me out there. I don't get real in the weeds with what I'm putting out there, and people are going to like me for who I am, and that's it. Just be you.
Your honesty, your passion show through, your excitement about what you do show through, the just inherent honesty that comes from you comes through. So yeah, that's why that all does well.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to be my first agent podcast. I look forward to doing these with a lot of the people that I work with, but thanks for doing this for me tonight, Sean.
I appreciate you having me on the show.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Tune in for more.